we need are some clamps, some silver clamps. We're going to use a comb, of course, for parting, some scissors for cutting, and yarn. This is regular knitting yarn. I just cut some strands off the roll. I have a little candle here and a lighter, which I'll be demonstrating at the end how to burn the ends off the quickest way I know, which is using the candle. Now to start, we are going to just create our part, just like we did earlier on the other lock extensions. This method is ideal for those who want to just try out the look without committing to the locks. This method is easier to take down than the other method using the hair. This method with the hair I recommend just for those who want to keep the extensions in permanently, which means for at least 6 months to a year. You can keep that same hair in, you can get it shampooed and conditioned, and take it down by cutting gradually the extensions off while your own locks grow. With this method, the other method I'm about to demonstrate, you can keep them in also for the same amount of time. However, the ends are burnt on the yarn locks and they don't have the same hair textured finish that you have with the lock extensions using hair. So I'm just putting my braids yarn in. I use two strings of yarn just to demonstrate the different ways you can do it, making your locks either thinner or thicker. I'm now going to use 2 strands of yarn. I'm using one hand here to pick them both up, making sure they're about the same length. I begin to wrap by placing about 1/3 of an inch of the open end down in my stem. And I'm going to start wrapping at the base just like I did with the other hair. But at this time I'm only using yarn to wrap. The wrapping method is the same, only using yarn this time. And you have to be very careful and sure that you don't leave spaces in between. The goal of this look is to have your extension, your finished extension, look as natural as possible with no spaces in between. So as I go, I'm making sure that I bring the yarn right to just below my pointing finger, my forefinger. As I get to the end of that yarn, I let that hang down in the middle. Since I only have about that much left to wrap, I'm going to just use 1 strand, wrap it once, twice around the base, and pick up the other end. So now I have 2 strands, and continue wrapping. I'm going to continue wrapping until I get down to the end. So I get to my desired length. I have all yarn pieces hanging down. As you know, there was some yarn which we attached from the beginning. I finish off with a braid, about 1/3 of an inch of a braid, 3 or 4 steps, loop knot, and tie it off. Once again, the loop knot is created by taking a single strand of yarn over my thumb, pulling that thumb up, creating a loop, and pulling through the end. That's my finished yarn lock. I'm going to do several yarn locks and then demonstrate how you burn the ends off. Okay, continuing on to my next braid. Once again, I have 2 strands of yarn and I'm folding it almost in half, but one side has a longer piece of yarn. As you guys saw, I demonstrated the loop knot, so I'll leave that long piece so I have enough yarn to tie it off. Begin my braid.